name is Michelle Adams. I'm in Mr. Murphy's class for Social Studies. Today I'm going to be doing a recipe from the Caribbean islands called Diri Pwa. And so this is a Haitian dish. And what you want to start out with is we're going to add 1/4 cup of butter. There. I'm going to stick this in. There we go. Oops. Right. And then, let's see, we have Alright, so we have the butter in here. Now butter was first documented on a 4,500-year-old tablet that explained how butter was made. And it's from the words Pwa Recipe, which is Greek, and it's for cow cheese. It was brought to America by the Europeans along with cattle and horses they brought. And it was most likely taught to the people in the Caribbean islands by the Europeans. And next we're going to add the onions and the bell peppers. And now the onions came from Asia originally. Then they spread to China, India, and then to Greece and Egypt. And then it was spread to the Romans, and through their great influence, the Romans, through their long roads and such, it was brought to Europe. It was brought over by pilgrims and possibly by Christopher Columbus when he sailed to the West Indies in 1492. But when the pilgrims brought onions, they found that wild onions had already been there. So this possibly might have been because of Christopher Columbus. It might have been just because of the land there. The bell peppers come from South and Central America. Pepper, the name pepper, comes from European colonization of North America. And they came in 1500s, 1600s. And the Europeans took it back with them. The word pimiento was the original Spanish name for the pepper. So you saute that until it's the onions are transparent. And then we add the garlic. So we're going to add the garlic cloves. And this is 3 garlic cloves, and it's a whole pepper, whole onion, 1/4 cup of butter. I'm going to stir that in, let it saute. Alright, so that's good. Okay, now the garlic cloves came from Central Asia and Egypt in about 3000 BC. It went to the Mediterranean, to Pakistan, and Western India, China, and then the Spanish, French, and Portuguese brought it to the New World along with them. And they were major liaisons between the South America and Central American cultures and European culture. They brought most of it over. And so now we're going to add 1/2 cup of tomato sauce in there. I'm going to turn the heat down or off for a minute. I'm going to add 2 cups of beans, kidney beans. They're called kidney beans, chili beans, red beans, it's all the same bean. And we're going to add 2 cups of those, approximately. Stir that in. And then we're going to add the herbs. So we have 1 bay leaf. And then we have a teaspoon of thyme. And then we have a teaspoon of oregano. And you can get this recipe on, you could probably Google it or find it on several different places. Tomatoes, they were documented as far back as 700 AD with the Aztecs. And the Europeans were introduced to it in the 16th century when they were colonizing. The red chili kidney beans were from central Mexico and Guatemala. And then Spanish and Portuguese brought it back to Europe. Time was dated back to the Sumerians in about 5,000 years ago, most likely brought by the Europeans. And then oregano, the Greeks call oregano the joy of the world, because in their legends, Aphrodite gave it to man for happiness. The Romans, Europe, Northern Africa, it was spread to the Romans, Europe and North Africa, China by the Spice Road, and then then it was brought by the Europeans to the New World. There was also Mexican oregano, which is, it's different. It's not the same family as oregano from Asia, but it's a different kind. It has the same texture and taste to it. I'm using a regular oregano. So next, it says to add a Scotch bonnet pepper. They are Central and South America. Jamaica is particularly famous for their Scotch bonnet peppers. Alright, then we're going to let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Come back then. Alright, so we've let this simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. Now we're going to meld the flavors. And now we're going to turn the heat down. Hot pad here. Now we're going to stir in the rice. That smells really good. We're going to get the rice. It's about a cup of rice. Add that to it. White rice. Long grain. I don't think this is long grain, but it calls for 1 cup of long grain white rice. Stir that in. White rice came from the Himalayas in Asia. It was spread all over, especially to China. China's particularly famous for them. And then they were brought to Mexico. And Mexico really incorporates rice a lot in their meals. Mexico, South America, the staple foods are mostly beans, tortillas, and rice. They use a lot of those foods. Those are their staple foods. And they really spread it around a lot. And then we're going to add the water. Let's see. It's a cup and 3/4 of water. Add that in there. Now it may look like there's too much fluid in here, but once it's done cooking all the way, the rice will absorb all the water, and it will be really, really, really light, and it will be very soft. So you don't have to soak the beans or soak anything like that. All right, so now we're going to let this, we're going to let it come to a boil. There we go. All right, my directions here. Okay. All right, let it come to a boil. Pause it. Step out. Just pause it.
Got it.
Okay, now play it.
It's already going.
Okay. So let it come to a boil. And now we're going to reduce the heat to low. So we're going to stick this on the back burner. Stick this on the back burner so we can keep it at a low temperature.
It's not going.
Alright, and then we're going to cover it tightly right there. Right there. And we're going to set this for, let's see, 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to do 5 minutes. And then we'll come back then. Alright, so we've let this cook for 15 to 18 minutes, 15, 16, 18 minutes. We're going to take it off the heat. Alright, and then we're just going to let it sit there and cool off the heat for 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, we've let this cool for about 5 minutes. And now it says to stir it lightly with a fork. So make sure you get all the flavors in there. And then we're going to try some of this. It smells really good. This will make your house smell so good. Alright, here we go. Absolutely wonderful. Flavors, really good. I really advise this recipe. Thank you for watching my presentation on Caribbean food, and we hope you have a great day.